Welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry to keep you waiting this long, but I've been busy doing a third attempt getting from Norway to Isafjordur in Scoresby Sound, Greenland.
I love it!
At my first attempt, the Scoresby Sound was packed with ice. The second time, I was stopped by COVID already in the Faroe Islands.
They said that I tested positive.
As I strongly believe that consistency will get you success, I set out for yet another adventure to try reaching this goal. Some weeks before departure, I had spent a couple of weeks in hospital due to some flaring of my annoying ulcerous colitis. Eventually, my doctor said that I was good to go. So with no time to waste, I wiped the dust off my 46-year-old Contessa 35, Tessie, to give it another shot. So here we go. So here we are, stuck in beautiful Isafjordur. This is the last port on Iceland before the big leap over to Greenland, and then disaster struck. I skidded in a pond of diesel, making me hurt my back. On the planned day of departure to Greenland, I was almost unable to walk.
Come on! Oh fuck! And this jeopardizes the Greenland trip because I don't know how many days it will take for me to recover from this.
After some days spent in the cabin, my back slowly recovered. Carefully, I could move around through the city streets to get in somewhat shape again, to gather much needed supplies for the next couple of days. A highlight was a visit to the highly recommended seafood restaurant Fjord, just a few minutes walk away from the boat. Here I got served the freshest, best tasting seafood I've ever experienced. I could eat as much as I wanted, and dinner was enjoyed together with local beer and great company consisting of sailors and explorers. It sure turned out to be a fabulous evening. But just around the corner, a harsh reality awaited. After all the weeks spent in hospital on Faroe Islands, in addition to all the days spent waiting for weather along the way, this had now put me into late August, placing me over a month behind the planned schedule. Winter in Greenland starts already in September. That means low pressures are building up, creating storm after storm, surrounding Greenland and Iceland, bringing freezing temperatures and ice building up again. I had also sailed together 1,200 nautical miles from Norway. From Isafjordur there is an additional 270 miles up to Isafjordur in Scoresby Sound, and another 1,000 miles back home. With this in mind, a bad back and struggles with ulcers from a developing Crohn's disease, I had to take a hard decision. I wanted to shift my boat from the tall harbor dock, serving 3 meters of tide, 2 times a day. over to the marina floating dock. The marina had been packed with boats during my stay, but finally there was an open space as many boats were starting to leave due to the late season. Safely tied up alongside one of the local yachts, it was time to do some much needed cleaning on board, as I had been more or less lying stretched out in the bunk the last days. I picked up my freshly washed lining and clothes from the local washery.
I can sail from Norway to Iceland, but putting on this tub cover, that's really hard.
Well, nobody said life was going to be easy, Erik. With preparings all done, I was ready to come to a final conclusion.
Day 7. Imagine that. And there is some small change of plans, unfortunately. And the weather reports have been playing tricks on me for many days now. They say that tomorrow, Saturday, is going to be perfect downwinds and to Greenland, but it's not. They turned around in one day, and that's just the way it is. So, and there's a big storm coming in on Tuesday next week, and it's going to last for several days up in Scoresby Sound, and it's just. It's crazy to try to get up there with this little boat and be stuck in a storm at anchor outside Isafjordur for many days. So that's the first big storm coming, and it's raging around all of the North Atlantic here around Iceland. So then I'm going to another place. It's called Grimsey, 150 nautical miles out of here, and it's about 24-hour sailing. And it's an island just north of Iceland, some miles from land. And it's really isolated, and I'm really looking forward to see something like that. So I love islands, isolated small islands. It's perfect for a guy like me. So that's something else compared to what I've seen lately. So I think, and the health is well, it's okay. I have some infections going on behind there. It's annoying, but it's not gonna stop me. Either way, I'm going home now. I'm going home now. So whatever whatever happens, I'll be closer to home for every day. So yeah, that's it. Let's go.
So off we went. It felt weird to be so close, but yet so far away. Anyway, it felt good to be heading somewhere again, to be moving through the water. We slided through the channels out towards the big fjords and left the beautiful village of Isafjordur slowly behind. Definitely a village to remember. But in this game, the most important is to stay safe.
Okay, so that's Isafjordur. We are on a good way from it now, and we are going out out the fjord here. So I hope it's not going to be too much wind against us. That'll suck a little bit, but then we're going around, and then we can set our course to Grimsey. I'm really looking forward to be on my way again. I've been sitting here for another 7 days now, so it's been a lot of sitting around on this voyage, but I made it so far, so we're gonna make it the last part as well.
It's a spectacular sight sailing close to these enormous mountains. Although I knew the peace would soon be interrupted by headwinds and then heading downwind around the corner of Iceland towards Grimsey.
Yes, as expected. The waves are picking up and the wind is picking up as we're getting out, more out in the fjord. But let's hoist the mainsail a little bit. Yes, and I deployed my generator as we were in port now, just because we are going to have downwind according to the weather reports. So I hope it's right, and I hope it's not too bumpy against the winds out the fjord here, because then I will have to take it down again. We'll see. Setup is okay. Well, if it gets worse, I will have to take it down. So we're finally rounding the end point here, so we can turn the boat and we can have some Genoa out and stop the engine. Let's go!
We changed our course and the wind pushed us further towards the north coast of Iceland. This was also the closest point to Greenland I would ever get along my course line. A special moment indeed.
So believe it or not, Greenland, Scoresby Sound, will be 230 nautical miles just that way now. The clouds there. Shit. So close. But I'm not, disappointed or anything, because, I did everything I could to try to get up there. But when Mother Nature or my health won't be on my side, there's no way around it. But yeah, well, it sucks a little bit, I have to admit. I'm so close now. This is the closest I will ever get to Greenland. But yeah, we'll see what the future brings next time. Downwind. I think it's generator time.
Okay, so we did not make it the third time either. But you have to hand it to me. We are getting close. When facing adversity, the Vikings moved on and worked hard until they found another way to reach their goal. They never gave up. As I'm highly inspired of their willpower and mindset, I give it all I got to follow in their path.
In that manner, what's better than celebrating this moment with Jennaker sailing and the Icelandic beer. Wow! Oh. Cheers, Greenland. I'll see you at another occasion, I hope.
The defeat was accepted, beer was consumed, and I could only look towards the horizon and vision how to win this little personal war the next time. We proceeded through a cold and moist night. I was only passed by one big cargo ship. After that, I had the Icelandic oceans all to myself.
So good morning, what a fantastic day. Sunshine, blue sky and 12 knots downwind. Jennaker straight on the target to Grimsey. This is fantastic. The weather changes so fast here. It's from gale to wind quiet to gale to wind quiet, north to south all the time. But here we are on the most northern point of Iceland. You can barely see land from here. 22 miles off the coast. Beautiful. I've been a little bit afraid to use the hydrovane while I'm flying the Jennaker because of the powers, but you know, you need to learn stuff, and only way to find that out is to try. The wind died out a little bit, so the hydrovane is struggling in you know, weak winds. It doesn't cope right. You need some wind over it to work. So I think it's back to autopilot.
We sailed along and forward, into the unknown, just enjoying the simple things in life. It's incredible how blessed you can feel, finding tremendous pleasure in frying an egg. Have a look out the window, knowing you wouldn't be anywhere else in the world than in a small boat in the middle of the vast ocean.
whole milk. Beautiful. Oh. Wind died out again. Engine. Passing pretty close to a fishing boat there. I'm going in front of him, but it's a close call. Yeah. Hope he doesn't get angry with me. He honked his horn. I don't know if it was good or bad. I just waved to him. Be nice. There it is. You can see Grimsey in the horizon here now. Wow. 10 miles left. Look at that. Amazing. We made it. Now it's just to find ourselves a safe way into the harbor and have some beers. Can't wait. What do you think about that, Tiger? You happy? As always happy. And it's cold up here, so I needed to put on my Helly Hansen parkas. It's 7 degrees Celsius and in the water it's 8-9 degrees, so we are at 66.33 now, and that's the polar circle, and it actually crosses straight over the island here.
Grimsey is Iceland's northernmost inhabited island. 105 people lives in this tiny village, enjoying this beautiful view across the harbor.
Beautiful, wow.
They even have their own restaurant and a small shop, serving all their needs throughout the year. But they are not alone, as they have to share the island together with 1 million seabirds, which stays here during summer months but disappears offshore in winter. The cool puffins are a common sight here as well, and stays here from April to early August. And fishery is the main source of income for the brave few families. The island was once raised by volcanic rocks, which again over time created these incredible basalt columns sliding into the sea.
So this is where the Arctic Circle is crossing on Grimsey, the island. Look at this. So now I'm on the one side, the Polar Circle, Arctic Circle, and now I'm on the other side.
Oh yeah, and thanks to the local people for taking care of me and giving me the best party.
Right, so that's Grimsey on Iceland, 22 nautical miles from the coast of Iceland, and I was quickly redirected to lie on the outside of the harbor here because there's a bunch of fishing boats in there, loading and unloading every day. Yeah, and I needed to go outside here, but it's okay. It's a nice place to stay. So now I'm just gonna have a couple of beers and relax again. It was a long but really nice trip. So I'm gonna stay here for a couple of days now. Monday morning is downwind again. Tomorrow is headwind, so that's not gonna happen. There's another 80 nautical miles to the next destination around the northeast coast of Iceland. So then from there slowly we can set our bow towards Norway, or at least Faroe Islands. So let's see what the next days brings. And there's also a restaurant up here. You can see it maybe up here. It's a nice restaurant. I'm gonna meet up with a couple of people there, local people, and have something to eat and drink. See you soon.
So that's my decision done. I'm starting on the long way back home to lick my wounds.
I need to get back home now.
To get strong and prepared to give Greenland a new go.
Cheers, Greenland. I'll see you at another occasion, I hope.
In chapter 8 we will have a somewhat rough challenge in sail that put me in a very bad situation.
Just let it all go in the water. That's why they rip.
As we are heading for the next port of Raufarhöfn, 80 nautical miles away. You don't want to miss out on this one. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram for news and updates. Support me on Patreon or PayPal. And get your NBJS merchandise following the links in the video description. Subscribe to my channel, leave a comment and push the like button. Until next time, Erik.